Good morning, ladies and gents. It's Stefan here, your Digital Commando, and it's Fitness Friday. So we're on episode 43. We are smashing through this, absolutely loving it. 43 episodes down. I can't believe it. It still feels like 10. But it's Fitness Friday. What do we talk about on a Fitness Friday? For those who haven't seen it before, we'll be talking about how to get your head in the game and get into that workout mentality so you can actually get stuck into it and do some positive workouts. Then we'll talk about how to work out, and for lots of people in lockdown still currently, how to work out from home. And this is quite pivotal at the minute because the gym still isn't open. So we'll talk about that. And then finally, we'll go on to talking about what to eat and what not to eat. Takeaways are too easy to get at the minute. I know that my delivery bill from Deliveroo has gone through the roof. So we'll be talking about what not to eat at the same time and staying fit and healthy at home. Okay, guys, so we've got fantastic guests for you. We have got Gordon from Fit as Fork. So let's grab him and bring him into the room. Gordon, how are you doing?
How are we doing, my man? How are we doing?
Thanks so much for joining me. It is great to have you on the show. I'm just going to fix these banners because I always get them wrong. I don't know what I've done.
No problem. No problem. I'll leave that with you. You're the tech man.
Honestly, I think I'm going to blame Dave. There we go. We're on. We're working. So, Gordon,
everyone needs a Dave. Everyone needs a Dave to blame, don't they?
Everybody needs a Dave. I'm blaming Dave. But Gordon, thanks for coming on the show. For everybody who's watching today, Gordon is a fantastic guest, and we're going to be talking about what I just said a minute ago, Fitness Friday. So if you know anybody that's trying to keep fit at the minute, trying to stay healthy, or just needs a bit of motivation to get stuck into it, then please do tag them in the comments or share the whole show with them on the replay so they can watch it later and get some fantastic insights from Gordon. So Gordon, for some people that may be living under a rock and don't know who you are, can you give them a bit of an insight into who you are, what you do? Go for that.
No problem. I am Gordon from Fit as Fork. Fit as Fork's an absolute blast. It's really quite light. However, what I will say is it's a complete accident, an absolute accident. And the story behind it being an accident was the catalyst for me was turning 40 and looking in the mirror and saying, you know what, that's only going one way. That's I'm not that shaped with all the running or working out. And I looked at diets. People laugh when I say this, but I'm a grubber. I like my food. So it was never going to be counting calories, points, sins, or whatever the latest thing is for me, because it had to be about A, real life, and B, real food. I was never going to lick ice cubes, inhale avocados, that sort of thing. So that was never going to work for me. So it was almost trying to work something out for myself. And I did, and I lost just under 5 stone, doing things my way, sort of. And then the accident part is, I was in my friend's house one morning and his wife said, I'm going to weigh in at the slimming club. You'll need to watch the kids. And he said to her, I'll weigh you for a £5. I will weigh you for a £5 because you only drive there, pay a £5, and it's a monthly, weekly battle for £2 or £3. So I said, I'll help you. And she goes, oh, I'd love to know how you shifted all the timber. So that's the accident part. She lost 17 pounds in 5 weeks, pretty much eating whatever she wanted. And we kind of went for there. So it went from helping myself. So that's 5 years ago. I'm 45 now. But she did say, you need to do something with this. So we did. And we went for helping one person. Well, helping myself initially, to helping one person, to helping hundreds. So it kind of went from there. But it's the whole anti-diet thing for me. A lot of my work is untwisting the damage that dieting and yo-yo dieting does to people. So that's where it all came from.
I love that, and it's awesome when things happen by accident like that, because I like that kind of natural journey into things. And people ask me about how I got into marketing. I'm not going to go into the story; it's a bit more long-winded than that one, but it was very much like a weird but natural progression from bomb disposal to digital marketing. It's really weird.
I didn't know the bomb disposal, but that's
yeah, that was the last job I did in the military. So yeah, if anybody wants to know the story, come and ask me. But I'm not going to go on it now because it's not my show
fantastic.
today. So
do you know what that's good for? But do you know what that's good for? Perspective. So see when banners on that aren't working, it's no biggie, is it?
It's no biggie. Yeah, it's it's not the end of the world. Could be worse. But, Gordon, awesome. Thanks. It was great to have you on the show. Guys, if you've got any questions, please throw them in the comments. I know we've got a couple now, but we'll come to those after we talk about our first subject today, which is going to be how to get motivated, how to get your head in the game. Now, this is something that loads of people struggle with if they've not got a routine or their routines have changed at the minute. There's lots of change to routines with kids being around where they might not normally be, or you could go to work in the morning, you could go to the gym in the morning when the gyms are closed. So, Gordon, what advice have you got for people at the minute of how to kind of get their head in the game and get that ready for that big workout?
Motivation's a tricky one. It's okay to read a Facebook post and feel a wee bit pumped up, or read or listen to something. Motivation is the thing that gets you started. That's the first switch probably, and say, oh, right, I'm feeling motivated to do this thing that I never used to do. Mm-hmm. The key for me and the whole thing about getting in the zone with it is the habits. So motivation gets you started. Habits are the thing that takes you all the way. So if you want to have a look at where you are on food, fitness, weight, health, all you need to do is look at your habits. You'll be exactly where you are today based on those habits. What I try and get people to do is understand it takes between 21 and 60 days to drop a habit or install a new one. If you've not done something and given it at least that time, then you've not ever given it a chance. And that's why you get the whole yo-yo peaks and troughs thing. Motivation's great. It'll get you to the start of the zone. Habits and consistency are the thing that get you to the result. And often when I'm interviewed, I say there's so many parallels between business and fitness, because it's the same in business. If you don't show up at the same time every day, with the same theme every day, I know it's Fitness Friday today, but I know your days are themed. If you don't have that consistency, people lose interest in you. He's only playing at it. But you have built that. Did you say it was show 43?
43, I think.
You've built that consistency and that habit up, and all this is the same stuff. It's all the same stuff. Do you know what? None of it is groundbreaking. None of it is. It's all basic stuff. The other thing I would say is, when you sign up for something, that's not the thing. Doing it is the thing. No matter what it is you're doing, even though I'm taking a pop at diets and slimming clubs, signing up's not the thing. Doing it consistently and as a habit is the thing. The key to it is finding the thing that works for you. This whole motivation, getting into the zone thing is an inside job. People think they're looking for something. All of it is an inside job, and a lot of what I do is mindset based and working on those habits. If you're only going to play at it, and what I tell the people that join Fit as Fork are affectionately called Forkers. And we do a meet the Forker slot, publicly, a bit like this. Here's someone's story and transformation and stuff. So it's meet the Forkers. And so a lot of what I do is mindset and habit work. It just so happens to be in the food and fitness space, but it is most 100% an inside job. And the reason I mentioned the Forkers is, and they'll tell you, I was like, give me a 7 or 8 out of 10 every day, every week, and we'll get there. What we don't want is 10, 1, 9, 2.
Yeah.
Waste of time. Consistency.
I think you've picked up on so many good points there. And I think you're so right. And we spoke about this. I had a conversation yesterday actually about this, where we talked about, it wasn't specifically fitness. We were talking about courses and books and things like that. Now I've got a bookshelf over there. Luckily I've read most of them, but I've not read all of them. And there's so many people that I know that will go and buy, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, because they feel like, right, I'm not being effective at the minute. I need to get some habits. I'm going to buy the book. Now, buying the book is action. So because they've taken an action and they've invested slightly, they're feeling like, well, I deserve a return now. But you need to open the book to get anything from it. So look,
people,
gratitude, isn't there?
It's that thing. People become course junkies, much like serial dieters, the yo-yo dieters. So they think signing up for the course is the thing. They think, and they keep doing that. It's not. It's putting it into play is the thing. And the key word in the diet industry. So I do have a serious pop in the diet industry. That's my bag. That's what I like to shake up. The key word in the diet industry, just when you have mentioned that, is again. So they say, I'm doing Slimming World again. I'm doing Weight Watchers again. I'm doing this again. So they're doing these courses again. Nobody ever says they're doing the cabbage soup diet again. That is a one-time gig. That is a solo project with the windows open. So nobody ever says they're doing the cabbage soup diet again. But you see the parallels again, like, so that they're getting ready. Yeah. And even in business, they'll say, hey, I better get a website. So they get all the bells and whistles on the website, and then I better do this next, and I better get an SEO guy. And I know your show's themed along these lines. I better get this. I better get this. I better get that. See, once they're about to set sail, they go, I better look at the website again.
Yeah.
And they're getting ready. So
it goes down to that belief, doesn't it? And that kind of why. We talk about the why quite a lot on the show, regardless of actually what show it is. We always get this why and that emotional connection as to why you really want to get this done and making sure we're doing it for ourselves and things like that. And I love that kind of premise, because I think habits can be stemmed off that. So I think to get that that going in the very beginning, before you even can think about creating a habit, you need to have an emotional connection as to what you're trying to achieve first. And I love it when people have got something that's really personal to them. I know Gordon, you'll do this when you're speaking to your clients and stuff, won't you? The people that you work with. One of the first things is why do you want to achieve it? Not what do you want to achieve, but why. And they'll tell you.
Do you know the cool thing about my job is that the why it's actually much less about that number on the scales than you would imagine. Now, I'm not going to decry that, because weight loss is the hook almost into my thing, because it's the thing that most people are fixated on, is the number on the scales. But what you find about the whys is it's someone who wants to go skydiving, but they can't because they're too heavy, and they've always wanted to go and do a skydive, but they've got to get under that weight barrier. The why is they want to be able to play with their kids in the back garden without getting out of breath. The why is the doctors told them, if you don't do something, this is only ending one way, much sooner than you think. The whys are all, it's my wedding next year. So those are the whys rather than the digits. And once I've had people, do you know what? I want to start a family, and I won't get fertility treatment until I'm under a certain weight. Those are the whys. The whys.
Yeah, because that's a deep connection to that. And I like how you talk about the again as well, again in the fitness industry. Now, you don't need to do a lifestyle choice again. If you change lifestyle, there's no, you can't go, I'm going to do it again. You've done it. That's it. And I believe really highly in lifestyle changes rather than diets, because this is why people call it a yo-yo diet, because when you finish the diet, you're no longer dieting. You will go back up unless you maintain the same diet, which if you maintain a diet, everyone, that's called a lifestyle change. So,
and do you know what? The diet industry is sneaky the way they as soon as something restricts you in terms of what you're eating, food types, I don't care if they call it a lifestyle change, it's a diet. Right, so they'll say Weight Watchers changed their name to WW. It's now a lifestyle thing. But as soon as they're restricting you on food types and foods and certain foods, trust me, it's a diet. So I get people to eat with it. I get people to eat without restriction. What I do is the people that come to me. Do you know what you mentioned? Destination, right? You mentioned destination, and once you know that, it's much easier to hit it once you know what it is you're aiming for. But the other thing is, I look at people's eating pattern. So because we're in the situation we're in just now, the lockdown scenario, people's pattern even before this tended to be breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack, snack, snack.
Absolutely.
Now we're in lockdown, snack. Because we're passing that fridge all the time. So I'm about winding that in. I get people joining and then sending me photos of avocados. And I'm like, you're over 20 stone. Avocados aren't the problem here. They aren't the problem. It's the eating all the time that's the problem. So we kind of go for there.
We'll touch upon that probably a little bit more at the end when we talk about what to eat and what not to eat, because we had a good chat with this actually with some fun stuff about what we were ordering. But so we'll go on to that later. Let's go on to like our second point of the day. So the second point of the day we were going to talk about was what people can do now while they're in lockdown. Now there are changes coming out from the government. Now I'm not massively informed. I'm hearing them third hand, so I don't know how true many of them are. But they were talking about you can go in groups of 6 now. I think you still have to do the social distancing thing. So for people in the current situation now, with the updates and changes, what can they be doing to keep themselves fit and healthy outside of obviously the gyms that are still closed?
Yeah, my whole thing, and I'm not here as a guest to talk about Fit as For, because I'm talking in general terms, but I get people to do a daily workout. And typically it's 10 or 12 minutes long. It's all body weight exercises. Now, the reason I'm telling you that is it's really quite light during lockdown because of the situation you're talking about, no gyms, no all that. So, but what I will say is the 80-20 rule, I know it crops up, right? And I know it crops up so often it gets a bit wanky, that the food is at least 80% of this. So that's why you get people plodding away and grinding away in a gym and not a lot changes because they're still doing all that food side of things. So be wary of that. If you've not got the grip on the food side of the things, you're pretty much 80% hamstringing yourself. The other thing is, the reason I do workouts like that, and listen, you don't need me. Look, it's like you can YouTube everything. You can YouTube workouts, and if you look for workouts at 10 or 12 minutes long, the thing that kills is I don't have time. People tell themselves they don't have time. You 100% do have time. It's just not that important to you enough to go and do it. So what I always say is you can measure the importance of something to you by the time you spend on it. So I'm pretty sure you spend a lot of time having these shows and teeing up the right guests, and because it is important to you. Now, if you've not got 10 or 12 minutes to do a workout off of YouTube, then trust me, it's not that important to you. So you can measure that importance by that. And if you don't do it, that's cool. There's no problem. But also, I will pull you up if you still say it's important to you.
Yeah.
You cannot have that both ways. So in terms of working out at home, the place is flooded. The marketplace is flooded with stuff like that. So it's not a case of you can't find it. It's the case, A, you've not got motivated, B, you've not built the habit, and C, it's just not that important to you. So all this stuff's decisions.
Yeah.
And nobody can make them apart from you. So it's there. There's stacks of stuff out there. Trust me, if you go on anywhere, internet, Google, YouTube, and look for workouts, you're not going to be stuck. Let's face it, you're not going to be stuck. So it starts with the decision whether you're going to do something or not. Options aren't a problem. Options aren't a problem.
I totally agree with you. I think there are so many out there, and I've tried a couple of them, try and find the ones that work for me as well. I think I did some workouts with Antoine from the Love Island. He's got a cool app. I think I dropped it in the end. Like, great guy. His app's just not quite up to scratch. I'm not sure I should really say it, but he's doing a good job. He needs to tweak the app a little bit, make it a little bit better.
I've never seen an episode of Love Island. I am marked safe from that.
Were you not absolutely gutted it was cancelled this year?
I didn't even know.
Didn't you know? Okay. Some people that were watching now probably didn't know, but are really, really happy that they know that now. So all quite upset. We'll see. But yeah, no, I think so. There was a guy. He was great at training, but I think I'm probably going to jump over to you guys next, actually, because I need some training as well. But yeah, I think working out from home, it is. You need to really. You can find there is a million PTs out there. Lots of them are very, very good at what they do.
Of course.
So you're not going to struggle to find somebody. It's making sure you can commit to it because you've got a genuine reason why you want to get it done, isn't it?
100%. 100%.
So we've got an interesting one that came in from Laura. Laura's absolutely fantastic. Coming back to what we talk about habits, she recently read a book called Atomic Habits. I've also recently read this book. Atomic Habits, really, really good book if you're trying to look at how to get new habits and actually get rid of bad habits. There's obviously talked about that as well. So that's good. Cheers for that one, Laura. And then she dropped in a question. So let's throw it out there. So if she's in the park right now, what can she do right now?
Right. She'll hate me for this, but for me, the number one exercise, bodyweight exercise, is burpees. So people groan. People say, and Laura's probably blocked me now. She's not going to do burpees in the heat, in the sun. But I'm going to tell you something. If I could put one exercise down to my fitness, and let me tell you, I say I'm 45. I would absolutely smash my 35-year-old self and probably give my 25-year-old self a pretty good run for his money. And you don't see. I was never a gym person. I felt like a gerbil. I felt like a gerbil on a machine or a wheel. And if you don't enjoy something, again, it's never going to be sustainable. It is never going to be sustainable. So Laura, 20 burpees, I'm afraid. But what I do is, like, to give you an idea. I got things on levels. Everyone's got levels. So regardless of where you are with something, there's always a starting point. I don't care where you're at with it. So people that can't do burpees, I get them to do a thing called stand-ups, which is just go from a standing position, touch their chin off the floor, without knocking their teeth out, and then stand back up. And that's it. So stand-ups lead to burpees, and then I've got a second level burpee that everyone hates. They're called forkers. Everyone hates forkers. But I've had people join, middle-aged women who say, I can only do 3 stand-ups, and I'll say, fine. That is now your new baseline for stand-ups.
Yeah.
And those same women can now do 6 to 8 in the one blast. So 3 become 7, 7 become 10, 10 become 12, and it takes you there. Yeah. And it's just one tip I would say: if it moves, measure it. Always measure your performance, whether you time it. So like my workouts, some of them are timed. So you hit the stopwatch, do the workout, hit the stopwatch. That becomes your personal best at that one.
Yeah.
So the next time it comes round, typically 4, 5, 6 weeks, you're looking to knock a wee bit of time off that. Yeah. And what I believe, and to almost try and help answer Laura's question, is I believe the magic happens when you get people competing against themselves, not anyone else. So your best times are your best times. So even if you're going to run round a park, time it, and the next time look to beat that time. And not every workout or run or session can be a personal best, but you can be shooting for one every time. You can be shooting one for one every time, and you'll be amazed at where that takes you. Amazed.
Awesome. Yeah, I think Laura will be very happy with that answer. Take that one off. And I hope she's doing her burpees right now, Laura. I will be calling you later to check.
Pictures of it didn't happen. That's the rules, isn't it?
But no, that's wicked. Right, let's go on to the last one then. So we've talked about kind of getting into that kind of mindset. We've talked about things that people can do while they're at home or still remote, kind of in this situation. Let's go on to what we talked about at the beginning a little bit, which was what to eat and what not to eat. Now, Deliveroo, I've just moved house, and my options on Deliveroo have gone from 7 to 32. It's brilliant. But, and I'm not going to lie, since moving, I've been here for 2 or 3 days now. I think this is day 3, and we've already had about 5 takeaways because we haven't got.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you're moving. To be fair, that's real life.
I'm going to punish myself for it. Like I know that I'm going to make it up for it, but it's one of those things, isn't it? You move and you do that. Now with lots of people now they're remote, they might be used to going to maybe the shop at lunchtime and grabbing a Greggs or something, or they might. Everyone's got their own kind of habits and stuff, or they might do the opposite and they might make themselves salads all the time and take them to work, and that was part of their routine. Now for people that have been a bit kicked out of their routine at the minute, Gordon, what would you advise people that they maybe should be doing or shouldn't be doing when they're choosing what to eat? Should they be taking supplements or not taking supplements? I know some people say to take them. What would your advice be around trying to eat healthy, I guess, during this lockdown?
I'm probably the worst guy to ask. This is going to sound daft about what to eat, because I have got the tagline of being the food anarchist, because I get people to concentrate on when to eat. So I have the social proof coming out my ears that when we eat is as important as what we eat. Now, I mentioned that breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack scenario. So I very much believe in the when over the what. Don't get me wrong, it's not an excuse to eat junk, but if most diets or plans start with the what. Now, if I tell you here's what I want you to eat, and it's weird and wonderful stuff, you're going to do it for a couple of days because you want the result, but you're not going to stick with it because it's not the stuff you like to eat. So, so I very much believe on when. So a tip is to count the number of times a day you're eating. So the accident part of Fit as Fork is I looked at, again, I say I was born in 1975, so I looked at the number of times people ate back then, and it was 2.7 times a day. It was 3 square meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I looked at it in 2018 when we were kicking this off properly, and it was 7.1 times a day. What? The UK average for eating per day in 2018 was 7.1. Now that's the reaction I always get, right? Crazy. Now, if you want to, you count yours tomorrow, right? So if you're doing breakfast, lunch, and dinner, then you're throwing crisps in there. If you're having biscuits with every cup of tea or coffee, if you are having the supermarket meal deal, that was always mine. Supermarket meal deal on the run. Packet of rubbish sandwiches, packet of kettle crisps, bottle of Lucozade, £3, £3.50. Beautiful. But I would maybe have 2 of them. I'd have one, and then if you're doing, pre-dinner post pre-lockdown was probably through a drive-through. Oh, I'm not going to get my dinner at 9 o'clock, so I'll grab something on the run. And if you're doing the school run, the bar of chocolate in the school run, you get to 7 pretty quickly. And every time you eat it, it's a signal to your body, hey, here's this stuff coming. We don't need to do anything. It keeps coming. So I've got a wee analogy that helps with this, and I hope it helps in terms of you clocking the number of times you eat per day. And the reason why I get people to wind that backwards. So I don't know about you, but most people are guilty of plugging their mobile phone on overnight to charge.
Yeah.
But you've never lifted your mobile phone in the morning and it's been 120% charged or 150% charged. True. It's always 100% charged. The rest is a waste of electricity, I assume. I am no scientist, electrical engineer type person. So I take it, I don't know if your phone knows not to charge it anymore, but it's never 120 or 150. So so that's me asking somebody a question then. So, but if we had a biological equivalent of your mobile phone battery, it would be your liver. So your liver is the equivalent of that. And every time we eat, insulin levels spike. Insulin's job's to break down the sugar in your food, the glucose, and turn it into glycogen. Glycogen is effectively our charge. Where it stores it is our liver. So our liver is effectively our mobile. Like, I'm not a biologist, but this is what I'm trying. It's an analogy, right? So the difference between the two is when your liver hits 100% charge, it says, "What do we do with this stuff? This is good stuff. This is energy. What will we do with it? We'll turn it into fat." So it turns it into fat and it stores it around about your liver, and that's where fatty liver disease comes from. That's the first place. Here's the kicker. When you do that, your liver, it affects your liver's ability to do its job. Your body's a smart thing. Your body says, we can't keep doing that. Where else can we store it? We know where it stores it. It stores it on our bellies and our tummies, and for guys, the moobs, and women on thighs and backsides. So, and it's because we are hunger or being ready to eat is just not a thing in the Western world now, because we eat all the time, bump, all day, every day, and we never run that down. So my tip would be, count how many times a day you are eating. If you can wind a few of them in, you'll be on your way.
What's your thoughts on? Because I've looked at different methods, and I've spoken this about lots of friends. At the minute, we looked at like the biohacking thing. I'm still exploring this and trying to find a bit more about it. But one of the things they said about was fasting. Now, apparently, this is a big thing at the minute. Lots of people are trying to test this fasting, where they might fast for up to 14 hours a day and then eat and then sleep. What have you got any thoughts on fasting or any experience with this?
Fit as Fork is built on that. I've got a bit of a cheeky tagline in that. So people say, "Oh, is it fasting?" And I say, "Yes, but you can eat anytime you want." And they go, "Oh, right." And that's like, tell me more. So, like, there is huge benefits of doing so. It's just I've got it set up in a way that people don't need to fast to get the benefits of fasting, which might sound a bit flipped, but it works beautifully. And here's the thing. See, when we concentrate on when rather than what, I've got people who have lost 8 stone, and the first 5.5 stone were eating McDonald's and takeaways. So, and then you kind of plateau, and then you say, right, now we've got the when, let's sort out the what. You don't need to go to McDonald's all the time. Or even if you're going, make a better choice in there. Make a better choice. So, McDonald's has a place. These places have their place in real modern busy life. If you're on the run, I show my forkers what I eat. I still smash a KFC 100%. I still have pizza. And it's because I just work out when is the best time to eat for me. But what people think when they go on a diet is they need to be perfect on it. They really don't. It's back to that consistency thing. So there's lots of benefits. Do you know what one of my jobs is? To act surprised when it works. That is one of my challenges. I'm supposed to go, oh, really? And you mentioned Greg. I had a guy called Tom Andrews. He was a Greg's man, but he was also a guy that snacked and grazed all day. I said, I don't want you to stop going to Greg's. I want you to wind in those number of times you eat per day. And he's like, he lost a stone in 7 weeks, eating Greg's. And then I say, well, let's wind in the choices in Greg's. Let's have a look at the choices, or do you really need to go to Greg's every day? And it's back to that habits thing. Greg's was a habit. The other thing about the food side of it, or the diet side of it, is nobody blames the diet. They always blame themselves for failing. But they never question whether the diet was set up to be sustainable anyway. Do you know what I mean? So everybody's like, and nobody, like, you won't see any gravestones saying, "Here lies Karen, she was absolutely fantastic at dieting." Do you know what I mean? So dieting is pretty much overrated. And the reason it's a multi-billion-pound industry is because it doesn't work. Like 95% of it doesn't work. And my challenge is to fight the shakes, the pills, the flat tummy fucking coffee type scenarios. Like those are heavily marketed to women. Flat tummy coffee. Who doesn't want to drink coffee and get a flat tummy?
It sounds great.
Do you know what I mean? Take my money. But the science shows 95% of people that diet end up back at least where they were within a couple of years, and 40% end up even worse than where they were. So it really is about winding that in. Like, almost see if diets were a relationship, your friends would all be on the phone to you say, "Dump that. That's toxic." do you know what I mean? So all these, another thing between this and business is, those courses you were talking about.
Get rich quick.
Aye. So those people get rich quick by selling you get rich quick courses.
Yeah, of course they do. And the only people get
so those are the. I work closely with Crosley. I think you know Cros. Cros is a good lad. So he lad. He won't have been called a lad for a long time.
Yeah.
So Cros talks about skipping the steps. People want to go from 1 to 5, but they haven't done 2, 3, or 4. And these diets or shakes or pills or magic beans, like the equivalent. I get why people buy them, because they press the emotions, they press the pain points, and you say, let's just throw money at this. And unless you're going to do that for a long time, it is instantly unsustainable. So it's the equivalent of sending somebody to the shop with 20 quid and they come back with magic beans.
Yeah.
I'm back with magic beans. And those things are the skipping the steps. That's skipping the steps. So, and the steps are your insurance. Like, you've been there before, you know the steps to this. So my thing is very much step orientated. So we go, let's deal with the when, let's look at the what, let's get the exercise done. A big one, and a tip, which honestly gets so overlooked, drinking more water. People might say, oh, that's almost became a religion. I don't want to hear that. The amount of people that say to me,
so now that's cool.
So the amount of people that say I don't like water, I'm like, okay, throw a slice of lemon in it. Just drink some. Your body loves it. Your body will thank you for it. To the point, I will actually drop a link in here if I can, or get someone to do it. I do a water reminder service. It's through Messenger, and it pings. You can set it for every 2 hours or an hour, and it pings a wee message why you should be drinking more water. The beautiful thing about it is, which people forget, you've got all these benefits of drinking water. The beautiful thing is, water is nature's appetite suppressant. 100% is an appetite suppressant. So instead of buying all these things, which are ultimately either a laxative or an appetite suppressant, you've got the stuff coming out your tap or in bottles in your fridge. I can drink that. So a lot of people mistake hunger for thirst. And it's a huge one. It's a huge one.
And there was a study that they did, and I found this amazing actually. When they did a study on it was actually on men, about how our moods change. Now, we'll get really, really narky and a bit moody and the rest of it. And they were like, okay, what is it that we're not getting enough of that's making us
easy?
I know, right? The answer, to everyone's surprise, was not enough water. And they said, actually, you're not in a bad mood, nothing like that. You're just dehydrated, and that the dehydration has that effect on the body to make you, where everyone's hungover, all dehydrated. None of us feel great.
It's unreal, to the point people say, oh, I don't like water. I don't need you to like it. I need you to drink it.
Yeah.
And trust me, your body likes it. Your body loves it.
And I'm actually guilty. I'm definitely one of those people. Now, I've always said I don't like water at all. I don't like drinking water out of tap. I think some of the places I've lived, it just tastes a bit funny. I thought it tasted a bit chlorine-y. But I thought, I kind of went, right, do you know what? I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to drink more water. So I went out and just bought literally a load of bottles of water and got them delivered. And now I've got my Amazon repeat subscription. And I feel loads better. I eat loads less. Like all my mates would order a takeaway and they'll smash food. Like my mates, I'm not going to grass them up. They're probably watching. They'll smash food, loads, like takeaway, easy. And I'll sit there and have like 2 slices of pizza and be like, do you know, I'm actually quite full. Because I've been
it's amazing
all day. It's incredible. It really, really works.
Like the other thing is, I get people to snack on fruit. I get people to do things a certain way. Obviously, there's a commercial aspect to all this, right? But I get people to do things the fittest sport way. But one of the things is to snack on fruit. Okay, so I'm not religious, but there's a reason this stuff grows off trees and out the ground. It's not for me to see who put them there or who designed it this way, but they're there by design. So, but we're hell bent in putting squirty cream in an aerosol.
Yeah.
So it's just clocking things. Is mad. And listen, I enjoy a takeaway as much as anyone. What I would say is, in general terms, a takeaway, the thought of having a takeaway is usually better than what turns up.
That's true. Yeah, a lot of the time it is.
You're like,
Everything this week, I think, would be definitely guilty of that.
You go, a takeaway, let's get a takeaway, it'll be brilliant. I'll not need to cook, I'll have more time with the kids, I'll have more time to relax, more time to watch Netflix.
Yeah.
And when it comes, it's just all right.
Yeah. And this is for anybody can answer this now or on the replay watching it later. Now, I would love to know anybody that has ever had a takeaway and felt great afterwards. Doesn't happen. You get a takeaway and you're like, oh, I feel crap now. Like, it just doesn't happen. No one's ever had a takeaway and go, I feel bloody superb. You can't use McDonald's as an excuse as fast food. Like, I just didn't have time to go to McDonald's. There was a guy on the radio yesterday who'd been in the McDonald's queue for 55 minutes to get a Happy Meal. I wouldn't have been very happy with that Happy Meal after that wait.
That just ruins the term fast food, doesn't it? That ain't no fast food if you're waiting 55 minutes for it. It's interesting, and I love a curry the same as anywhere else. I'll phone a, and because I show my forkers what I eat, I'll say I'm getting a takeaway tonight, and it will be a pizza. But that's the first for 3 weeks or whatever, and it's because it's there is power in taking charge of that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? There's power in taking charge of the choices you make, and that whole feeling of you've just eaten a beach ball, or you just lie on the couch and you're like half man, half couch for the next 2 hours. So takeaways also have their whole role in place in this. But if you're doing, and do you know what else? It's not a treat if you're doing it all the time.
That's true. Yeah.
It's not a treat if you're doing it all the time. And I'm not, by the way, I'm not one of these people that say you need to make everything from scratch and have 17 ingredients in it and macros and micros and calories and and grams of protein. It's way simpler than that. Way simpler than that. Start looking at the number of times a day you eat.
Absolutely. Right, I think we've got time for one quick question.
Okay.
We'll try and kind of summarize it quite quick and get to a strong point on it, I think, for Sarah. So Sarah Gibson's asked, I'll put it on here. Sarah Gibson's asked, what are your absolute favourite fitness/health-related tips? And she completely supports your view on yo-yo dieting. So we'll probably just try and fire out, if you've got anything that's kind of like, we've got one massive one. Drink more water.
Water is an absolute no-brainer. I will drop that link into the messenger service to get water reminders. I'll try and make sure I do that. The other one is, whilst I don't think everyone needs to cook everything from scratch and have 14 ingredients and be in the kitchen with 3 pots and almost like a science laboratory, but everything bubbling away. I have been approached a number of times to do a Fit as Fork cookbook, and I say, listen, it'd be 1 page. It'd be 1 page, so we're wasting each other's time. Eat whatever you want. Just cook it. Just cook it yourself when you can. If we've almost lost that over the last couple of generations, and that everyone's at the touch of a button now to get food delivered, to drive through Greggs. You do a drive-through Greggs, and we've also got a 24-hour Greggs up here as well. So in Glasgow, I don't know if it's still to it. Also, that's interesting, actually, a wee point about Glasgow. I'm pretty sure it's still 24 hours pre-lockdown, and it's the only Greggs with a security guard. So that probably tells you something as well. So
but I think Scotland, that's the only place I've ever been where they've taken some food to like another level. Like when you're getting battered pizzas, battered Mars bars, battered haggis, it's like, we can batter anything. Your heart attack.
But also that's why we've got the tag of the sick man of Europe as well. Heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and it's back. There's clues in this stuff. And what I will tell you is, I have never seen a battered Mars bar, not once. 45, never seen a battered Mars bar. So that's one of those stereotypical things, but you're
No,
right.
I have. I've just only seen one in Edinburgh.
Right, I've never seen one or had,
but it was on the menu.
That's a smart move. But let's be honest, they're not sitting in Rome deep frying pizzas, are they?
No,
it's just not going to happen. So that would be my tip. Absolute favourite would be, you can pretty much eat whatever you want. Let's get into the habit of cooking it yourself when you can, and if that becomes one night a week, you cook from scratch, to 2 nights a week, and it's almost back to that progression thing. Somebody started be only be able to do 3 burpees, and now they do 6 to 8. It's back to that, getting people back in the kitchen. I really do believe we've lost a couple of generations of that, if that makes sense. And there's freedom and power in that as well. Knowing that, hey, listen, I can pretty much eat what I want as long as I stop throwing something in the microwave and waiting it ting, waiting it pinging. So, or what we've had a laugh about today is the Just Eat and Deliveroo stuff.
Yeah.
It is not a treat if it's happening all the time.
Absolutely. Gordon, you've been absolutely fantastic as a guest. So thank you so much. Everybody watching now on the replay, put hands and claps in the comments, please. Gordon, absolutely wicked. Loads of fantastic tips there for people to take away now and get stuck in with straight away, pretty much. So you can use this stuff right now. Just go. First thing you need to do when you finish watching this, go and get yourself a nice bottle of water, or drink it from the tap if you've got nice taps. Guys, absolutely amazing. For everybody who's watching, thanks for all the comments. Thanks for everybody who's sharing, liking, and getting involved. Once again, we've had a fantastic guest, Gordon. So if anybody's joined late, Gordon, can you just give them a quick refresher of who you are, what you do, and most importantly, how they can get in touch with you if they want to use your services?
I'm Gordon from Fit as Fork, where I make weight loss, food, and fitness way simpler than you would imagine, simply by getting people to concentrate on when they eat and relax about what they're eating, and it works beautifully. That coupled with a quick workout every day, typically 10-12 minutes. Don't tell me you've not got time. You do, 10-12 minutes. Those together work beautifully. And most of my job, I do a lot of mindset work as well, and habit stuff. The diet industry, this is the stuff that they don't want you to know. Let me be frank, the diet industry make money from selling you things. They sell you things. They don't make money from slimming classes. They make money from selling you their foods that have now became sin-free or whatever. So what a racket to be in. Can you imagine if we were coming up with a business model between us for world domination? Let's attach sins to foods, and then let's make our own food and make them sin-free and sell them to people. It's twisted, man. It is absolutely twisted. So my job and what I do is untwisting that. And that's only me talking about one way of doing it. So, and one diet out there. So, I get people to up their water. I get people to exercise, and there's a lot of community within Fit as Fork. Working as a group, you have got a higher chance. And that a bigger thing we haven't touched on is accountability. There has got to be accountability in there. That's one of the ingredients. So that's part of what I do as well. You will get me on Facebook primarily. You just need to go on. If you want to find out more about what I do, you go on the Facebook page, Fit as Fork, and hit send message, and it will take you into finding out some information.
Absolutely superb. Guys, get on it. I'm definitely going to be doing the same. Gordon, thanks again. Guys, remember to like, share. We'll carry on doing the show as long as you keep liking and sharing it with people that you feel can benefit from the show. That is it for today. That's the end of our Friday. That's the end of our week. But we will be back on Monday with some more Monday motivation and some more fantastic guests. Gordon, once again, thank you very much. Guys.
Pleasure. Enjoyed it.
Have a fantastic weekend and peace out.
Cheers.